Hello, everybody, and welcome to Flourishing Mystic here on YouTube. I thank you so much for being here. Those who have been showing up on the day-to-day, thank you so much for showing through and giving some love, whether it's a like, a subscribe. I thank you so much. Let's get into today's reading. We're going to use the Energy Oracle cards today, and then we're going to tune into the tarot as well and see what energy, what themes, what insights we can get for today. We have attachment as a flipper card that came through with the number 5, but I'm going to tune in a little deeper. April 5th. What's the energy for April 5th? Well, that's kind of interesting. We do have the number 5. So synchronicities there, okay? We also have 53, Magician, and the Mirror. Now these are a little bit, these are more complicated cards, and I'd love to read from the book for you. So attachment, number 5, perceived need and the choice to let go. In the upright position, this card reveals that your passage forward is being stopped by strong attachments to old patterns or people from the past. The chain at your wrist is bolted to fear from the past or desperation about the future. Although you may wear the mask of pretense or even contentment, you simply can't seem to go forward. The stuff that keeps you stuck could be physical addictions, emotional patterns, or even old relationships. Are you living in fear, addicted to old, unhealthy habits, or so desperate about the future that you can't be happy now? If so, the chains that bind you could be your own making. This card is telling you that it's time to take action. It's time to take the action you need to break out of your chains and move forward to an open, free, healthy, and authentic, happy life. It may take some courage and effort to let go, but know that you are capable of doing it. Until you do, the difficult energy will just repeat itself, keeping you stuck. Okay, so we have this synchronicity, or, the symbolism of the energy 5 on a 5-day, April 5th. So I find this to be interesting. Today could be bringing up some attachment issues, and there's some mirror stuff here as well. There's a mask. I see mirror. So let me read this card and see if we can get any more insights about this. Maybe any assistance on maybe releasing this attachment so we can move forward. It says knowing and using your true power. This card upright represents the culmination of your personal and spiritual power at this time. In the Magician's left hand is the flame of passion and action. In his right hand is a vortex of water and the light of reflection. This highly beneficial card is telling you that you are the magician, and within your grasp are the amazing forces of earth and spirit. The water is the energy of yin, the power of spirit and clarity of thought. The flame is the energy of yang, bringing direction and creativity. Together they give you the magnificent magic of transformation. The mirror stands beside the magician, reflecting the outer world's response to your choice to use or dismiss the true power that you have. Its silver reflection reveals the future in a mist on the horizon, ready to be magically formed. When you receive the Magician upright, you are put on notice that an important and powerful time is at hand. You are the alchemist of your life, and just as an alchemist turns base metals into gold, you are now able to transform your difficulties into great blessings. This is true in every area of your life. Claim your power and embrace your intentions in your heart and in your daily life. Direct your destiny, and the mists of the future will clear into brilliant reality. Wow, it's interesting how they wrote mists, and I'm seeing such a misty, dusty energy surrounding the attachment card. So I'm seeing a breakthrough here actually today, where you could experience this lifting of a mask that maybe you've been wearing for so long, or This is someone around you lifting a mask and showing up fully capable of being a part of your life, or you're fully capable of doing something that you want to do now at this particular time. I'm seeing the fogginess lift or dissipate, or you're experiencing more clarity today. So if there's been a fogginess that you've been working through, maybe a third eye issue, or just the energy that we've been dealt with lately, with Neptune being in Pisces, now Jupiter being in Pisces, now Venus also entering Pisces on this day. So Piscean energy, the shadow side, is kind of smoke and mirrors. It's misty, it's mystical. It can be quite magical, but it can be quite unclear. Okay, misty is a great word, but I'm seeing that lifting or dissipating within time as you trust that you are the alchemist of your life, as you trust that you are the co-creator of your life, you are the author of your life. You get to direct. See, that mask, that feels like societal expectations, that feels like perfectionist, that could be, a mother or father wound. You may have had a mother or a father who was or is a perfectionist, and you carry that through your bloodline. It feels like you could be even working through that. I'm seeing an explosion, and this is a psychic image of a breakthrough. I'm seeing someone break through the chains of maybe perfectionist tendencies, or being hypercritical or hyper focused on what's wrong, and moving towards balance of knowing that we're never entirely going to be perfect. We're never entirely going to have the right circumstances to fully start or live. We have to kind of accept that life is never going to be perfect around us. And we have to accept that we're never going to be fully perfect either. If we're going after, a relationship or a job or a career or building a business, we're never going to be fully perfect, and those around us are never going to be fully perfect. So taking that unrealistic expectation away from ourselves and those around us could be very helpful today moving forward, is an energy that I'm getting. And then, of course, attachment could be anything. So removing any attachments to anything that's not good for you, anything that's keeping you unhealthy, anything that's keeping you sad or depressed or in a loophole. That could be releasing today too, as she's removing her mask. Okay, magician in the mirror, like stepping into those shoes of the magician and saying, I'm in full control here, or at least in full control of my part in this. So how I show up to life. Maybe I can't control the circumstances around me. Maybe I can't control their behavior, but I can control my own. I can kind of direct how I participate in the energies today. I'm going to ground my energy, take a sip of coffee, and then we're going to move on to the tarot. Let's see what the tarot has to say for April 5th. I feel like talking very quiet today. I don't know what that's about. The High Priestess and the Queen of Swords. April 5th. What do you have for the collective? Two cards. We have another 5 card, and we have the 8 of Pentacles. at the bottom. So let's see what this is about. So interesting how the term perfectionism came up, because that's in alignment with the Eight of Pentacles and the Hermit card, that Virgo energy showing up here. So we may want to pay attention to that if that is a limiting belief, like we have to be a certain age or a certain height or a certain requirement to be able to show up to something, to somebody. We may want to look at that, because that could be creating unnecessary blockages, unnecessary financial losses, unnecessary poverty, unnecessary worry, fear, anxiety. Okay, so that's just one theme for today. Let's look at other energies that may want to come through. We have the Eight of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles that came out together. So the Eight of Pentacles is mastering a skill, okay? It's focus, it's dedication, it's hard work, it's skill development, it's high standards, it's commitment, and it's expertise in something. But yet we have this Five of Pentacles here, which talks about financial losses, poverty, or lack mindset, maybe isolation, maybe feeling shut out of the world or excluded. It talks about worry, it talks about some type of hardship, adversity, and some type of persistence of spiritual poverty even. Or like we said earlier, mental poverty. Or it could be a physical poverty as well. So for somebody in the collective here, maybe it's not all of us, maybe it is, in showing up in different ways, but I'll read for the strongest energy here, and it really does talk about knowing that you're enough. Whoever you are, whoever needs to hear this, knowing that you're enough. You don't have to do any more than what you're doing. You are perfectly capable of maybe doing something, achieving something. I am really seeing with the energies at play, because we have, 4 cards, even 5 here so far, where we're seeing that you are an expert at something, and you may be hiding that or downplaying that or dimming it down in some type of way, getting in your own way, maybe not dropping a product or a product line, or not putting out something on social for fear of maybe criticism, for fear of it being judged or ripped apart. With the Hermit, the Ace of Wands being here, 10 of Pentacles being at the bottom of the pool, there's something that would really benefit from you pressing send or complete or finalizing, maybe giving your approval on or something at this particular time. It's showing long-term success here. It's like maybe you just need to upload, maybe you just need to start, maybe you just need to get something moving. Release any unhealthy attachments of like, okay, I gotta have a certain educational background, or I have to have a minimum requirement here. I have to complete a minimum requirement or something. There's something that you're fully capable of doing, but you're not doing it yet. You're masking, you're wearing a mask, or you're hiding behind something. You're hiding behind maybe ultra high standards, to the point of, like we talked about, that shadow energy of perfectionism coming through. This is actually showing up as maybe even a procrastination technique that someone is using in their life right now, and it's keeping them stuck, it's keeping them financially just making ends meet or barely making ends meet. It's making someone feel really isolated, lonely, withdrawn, stuck, maybe repeating cycles, feeling rejected. But as you see, as we continue to look under this deck or under the surface of things, as I like to look at it, you had that Hermit, okay? And then you have the Ace of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles, which really talks about that new project that you are trying to take on or want to take on, or you're passionate about something. You would absolutely have growth in a particular area if you trusted yourself, if you allowed yourself to step into the shoes of the magician, the archetypal magician, and make something happen. The Ten of Pentacles talks about a dynasty, leaving behind a legacy, an inheritance, wealth, financial security, long-term success, roots, family. You don't have to wait for this to be given to you. You may have an idea that you could be the builder of this. I'm going to put these to the side here. We'll continue working with the Eight of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. Maybe uncover a little more here. Two more cards coming through. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. So it's definitely confirmation that it's time to take action towards something. Maybe stop living in the past, or stop living feeling like you're chained to a no or a block or some type of restriction. As the card said, at any given time, this reminds me of the Devil energy card, where at any given time you can actually remove your hand from this chain. Okay, but I see someone's already taking the first step of removing the mask. And maybe not hiding any longer behind this need to maybe overplease, overdo, over excel, overachieve all the time. Because that is masking so much insecurity. That is masking so much lack, feeling not good enough within. Forget about how the world perceives you. Maybe the world perceives you as just this phenomenal person. You could be a superstar, you could be a celebrity, everybody could be worshiping your feet, but you inside. See, Tarot looks at us within. Not only does it look at our external environment, but it takes a look at us within. It's a mirror to our soul. And someone's not feeling good within. Someone's feeling like no matter how much I do, no matter how much I excel at something, no matter how hard I work, I'm never good enough, or I'm never accomplishing enough, or I never have enough time, or I never have enough money. They could be in, the trap of, running on the hamster wheel and running fast but going nowhere at the same time. Actually, I'm really tapping into someone's energy who is really big. Believe it or not, this is a big person or a very successful person. Maybe even well-known. Maybe you're well-known in the community or amongst your family. People worship you in a type of way. People respect you. But someone doesn't feel good inside. And it doesn't matter how many likes or subscriptions to the channel, or it doesn't matter how many people buy your products, or no matter how much public approval, something's never enough. Someone just keeps working and working and working, and there's this cycle of never having enough or never being enough. Or someone has an issue with making money and not conserving some money. So always just working paycheck to paycheck, and this could even be a millionaire literally working paycheck to paycheck because they have an excess in spending, or even some type of an addiction to drugs that's costing them a fortune. And so they're barely making ends meet, or barely have enough to support themselves and their family or pay their bills. This is some heavy energy today. Whomever this is picking up on. My goodness. Knight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. This is big time energy. So I guess this is a way to offset it. Maybe taming the impulsive side to maybe overspend or overdo, or taming it with some grounded energy, some energy rooted in self-worth and self-respect. Here with the Queen of Pentacles is what's coming in. This is how you will truly build your long-term success, because someone has either good money coming in or they have the potential to earn good money, but they keep getting in their own way, or they keep blowing it all or spending it all. Maybe someone needs to reflect on that a little bit. Maybe it needs to sting, whatever messages are coming through, in order for the change to happen. Four of Swords and the Sun. Maybe someone needs to take a time out or a pause or a breather, or just succumb to happiness. Maybe look back and contemplate how far you've come or how much you've been able to achieve up until now. And just finally be able to take a breather. You can continue working. You can continue to be this outstanding person, but also remember how far you've come and wow, what you've been able to achieve. And can you appreciate that within yourself? Or are you always chasing something bigger and better in order to fulfill a void or some shadowy part of yourself that is never satisfied, never quenched, always thirsty, always hungry for more? And yet, ironically, never having enough, because someone's either blowing their fortune. I'm also picking up on someone who maybe received an inheritance and just blew it all away. Or someone received a big lump sum money and has blown it all away because they're not used to having. So some very, very heavy energies coming in today. Let's get some channeled advice for if anyone is resonating with this. And I apologize if this is a heavy reading. You know, I like to typically come in very inspired, motivating, but sometimes the readings are a bit heavy and we can't necessarily control that. So we have the Eight of Cups and the Four of Pentacles coming in as advice. And so I'm already getting and working with the Four of Pentacles as advice here. Four of Pentacles comes in before the Five. And so the advice really is to whoever this is talking about, or to start conserving a little bit. Because sometimes we can get shadow energy with the Four of Pentacles. It's not my favorite card, to be honest. You know, I am that person that likes to open their arms and be kind of grandiose in their generosity. And so I typically, you know, as a person, don't like this energy, but it's useful and it's here for a reason. And for some of us, we need to work with it and we need to harness it and kind of master this energy of conservation and saving and frugality. Maybe being a little bit more guarded in terms of our spending, and maybe it is time for some of us to look at the long-term security. And this is not to instill fear. This is just coming in as straight up advice. If this message came through for somebody and it resonates, it's not here to shame you. It's not here to talk down towards you. This is just straight up advice. It's something you already know. It's something you already feel, where maybe there's an area of your life where you need to be more reserved, conservative, maybe more frugal Now let's look at the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups talks about moving on. It talks about if you're unfulfilled, maybe it's time to search for that other cup. You know, the wish fulfillment that comes with the Nine of Cups. So it's time to maybe search a little deeper, maybe even go within a bit. You know, the Hermit. Maybe look at the shadow stuff that's maybe coming up in and around this time. Shadow stuff around attachments, shadow stuff around value, how much you value yourself, your work, your time, your energy, your money. And walk towards the Nine of Cups. Walk towards your fulfillment. And ultimately, the Cups is energetic and it's emotional and it comes from within. We can't purchase anything that will give us the Nine of Cups, the wish fulfillment card. That really does come from within. So this could be a time of soul searching to figure out what really sustains you, what really complements you, what really is that fulfillment from within. That really doesn't cost a dime. It doesn't cost a dime. It's all emotional. It's all energetic. So I'm seeing that as a major, major theme here with the Hermit, with the attachment, with all the cards that came through. They're very linked together. This feels very personal. This may only resonate with literally one person here so far, since there's only a small group of us here. And it's deep, but hopefully maybe this is confirmation or the validation you needed to maybe say, okay, I need to hold back here. Maybe I need to conserve my money here or my time here. Or maybe up my prices. Maybe because the Eight of Pentacles and Five of Pentacles could be talking about somebody who is literally working for free and not getting paid. Or maybe this is someone working minimum wage. And maybe you need to realize you're worth more than that. Or some type of inner fulfillment may be worth more than the money earned in a place that may be keeping you very unhappy. Okay, so interesting messages for today. I think they're all in alignment. Someone needs to go after their true fulfillment and maybe even be more frugal at this particular time. And this is not fear-based. This is just straight up real advice. Because somebody has this ability or the potential, or it's written in the books or the cards for them, that they will be literally building a dynasty or leaving a legacy or having enough financial security to actually leave an inheritance to somebody else if they are cautious with their money and their spending habits. But if they live day to day or paycheck to paycheck, just blowing it all away, just mindlessly spending, not thinking for tomorrow, then that could keep them going in this hamster wheel chase. And they're left depleted, never having enough, and always needing to work and always borrowing from their future, overspending, always relying on debt. But the cards are saying that there's an alternative for you. And the alternative is to start thinking long term. And it really is coming in as money related. Money coming in, money going out, and paying attention to that and being mindful of it. Maybe not over obsessing about it, where to the point it makes you crazy, but being mindful of it, being cautious may be really helpful to you and to your budget and maybe to your long-term security, safety, comfort, okay, and success. Because we got an attachment card, I'm going to use the Power of Surrender cards, okay? Maybe let's ask for a guidance card or a prompt of what we can surrender if this reading resonates with us in any way. Surrender denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decision. So something about being in denial is being removed, I see, or that is the prompt for today. Maybe lifting off the mask and maybe seeing something more clear or from a different perspective than you haven't seen in a long time. You could be making somebody the enemy when the enemy is really living within you. And that's the shadow side. That's the ego. That's the parts of ourselves we have to work on. Or work on having a breakthrough. Exposing it. Exposing that darkness to the light. That's what shadow work is. So maybe surrendering any form of denial. Maybe overspending. Living a luxurious life when maybe you can only afford to live a frugal life at this particular time. It doesn't have to be forever. Money is just like energy. It can go up and down. It could be in flux. It could be very stable. It could be very, stuck, so to speak, or it could experience a blossoming, a blooming as well. Money is just like energy. And so it can absolutely grow and multiply if that's the issue. But for someone here, someone is really good at making money, but they could be in denial with a spending problem here. And that's the thing to look at, because maybe money's not the issue at all. Maybe you have enough money coming in. It's the spending part that could be kind of the rude awakening here for somebody. And I'm sorry if this hits home or it's touchy or it's like it's none of your damn business. I understand, but that's just what the cards are coming up as. So surrendering denial, seeing the situation for what it is. You know the situation. Let's see what else. Surrender to inner peace. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. In quiet meditative moments, focus on the stillness within and enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. So this is in alignment with the Hermit. And maybe some of you taking an inner journey through loving yourself through this, maybe through not judging yourself necessarily. We want truth and clarity. We don't want to live in denial, but just because we found truth and clarity doesn't mean we need to judge ourselves heavily. We just need to make the right moves so we don't put ourselves in this position ever again. If it's a money thing, or if it's getting into heavy debt, or overspending, over borrowing from the future, never looking out for ourselves or looking out for our future or looking out for maybe a recession or something like that. This could be the time to start doing that mindfully and not from a fear-based place, because I don't like that vibration or energy when we're doing something out of fear. We need to do this out of self-love. We need to do this out of self-appreciation and valuing tomorrow just as much as we value today. So that's, I think, where this reading is coming from, and I think I'll leave it on that note. I feel like the real peace or the real fulfillment, like I said, after the Eight of Cups is Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, or finding that inner contentment, inner fulfillment. That comes from within. That's the inner stuff. So I do sense some good, healthy shadow work that could be done in and around when you find this reading. Could really benefit you. Lifting the mask, lifting any blinders, blind spots, blindfolds. Being the mystic, being the sage of your life, just being able to observe, not heavily judge, but observe and say, okay, what's my next step here? How do I pull myself into a higher vibration, get myself out of this rat race or this hamster wheel chase of, I'll put off my happiness until tomorrow. I'll put off my happiness until I got, $1,000 in the bank account, $1 million, $1 billion. Someone's also putting off their happiness until. And the funny thing is, I see them achieving these untils. Someone once said, okay, until I have a $10,000 in the bank, I won't be happy. They reach $10,000 in the bank. And then they raise the stakes. And it's always until tomorrow, or until something like this happens, or until that happens. But the real message is, how do we surrender to inner peace now? Maybe while we continue to work and strive towards those goals, but how can we find the contentment now? How can we be happy now? How can we find fulfillment now? Or else we're always going to be putting it off. We're always going to be in denial of maybe something good in our lives at present. Putting off fulfillment until when? So that's also a message coming through. If, that the first part didn't really resonate with you, maybe the message is, let's just surrender to inner peace and contentment now. Despite some challenges, despite some hiccups. I'd like to bring more cheer into the reading. So actually, let's pull an affirmation card. We'll do a super attractor card for today, just to end it on a really good note. We have things to do, places to go, people to greet, and it was kind of a heavy read, so let's end it on a cheery note. Two cards, okay? Actually 3. Wow. 3, the Trinity number. I accept that good things come easily. I am a super attractor. Life doesn't have to be so hard. It doesn't have to be hard to earn a good income. It doesn't have to be hard to save for tomorrow and live fully today as well. It doesn't have to be so hard. It doesn't have to be so hard. When I live and act from a place of spiritual alignment, I can trust that everything is working out for me, even if I don't know when or how it will happen. So surrendering to the divine. I feel my way into faith one step at a time, right? Sometimes we can't see the bridge, or when we're in a misty, foggy experience, we can't see what lies ahead. So we can get into the vibration of fear, of mistrust, of being hyper controlling, even when we don't realize that the universe actually laid out a whole pathway or a bridge. But we just have to walk the path one foot in front of the other. That's all we can do. So hopefully these messages brought a little bit of comfort into your day, a little bit of wholesome energy and advice that could benefit you at this particular time. I'll be back with more readings. Please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next reading.